What's up, guys? Coach Vass here. Thank you for joining me. This OTF Audio Daily Beats. As always, if you're new to these, appreciate you tuning in, listening to me talk about these workouts. If you find value in them, great. Show your support. If you feel like I could give you something different, please let me know. This is Friday, December 13th. This will repeat on Christmas Day. So majority of us will probably not coach this again. Because most studios tend to be closed on Christmas Day, but if for some reason yours is open, you'll be doing this workout. We're gonna see power on the treads, strength on the rower, endurance on the weight floor. As always, we'll talk about key concepts, talk about the treads, talk about the rower, weight floor, and then the 3G. All right, tread, it's all focused on the all outs. You have 13 of them. We're gonna set up a 1 minute all out intensity in block 1, like a primer, and then it's all about consistency in block 2. For the rower, strength-based row, how far can you go in 15 strokes? We're gonna find out. And then on the floor, build muscular endurance with cluster sets. Do your reps, quick rest, rep it out as many as you can, and see how many more you can handle. So, treadmills, 2 blocks. First one, 5 minutes, 15 seconds, 90-second walk recovery, and then the second block, 16 minutes, 45 seconds. In total, they're on the treads for 23.5 minutes. Block 1 is a primer for power. It's gonna start with a buy-in, 1 minute push, 1 minute base, and then they're gonna do all outs and walk recoveries. Now, the intention here, push and base, it's just a blip on the radar. It's just something to kind of rev their engine, get them moving a little bit, so it doesn't have to be too fancy, 6% or greater, 1 to 2 over their base speed, 3+ gears over their base. Do that for a minute. Heart rate trends up, maybe tap into that orange halfway through near the end, and we have that 1 minute of active recovery. And then we get to the start of the show, the all outs and walk recoveries. Now in block 1, block 2, and block 3, the format follows the same. It's always the shortest all out for 30 seconds, then 45, and then 1 minute, okay? So the first one is the shortest one. In block 1, the walk recoveries are only 30 seconds. So this is an opportunity where it's like, hey, hit 30-second all out, kind of set your baseline. On the next one, it's a little bit longer. So do you feel like you could use that same speed for an extra 15 seconds? Do you need to pull back a little bit to maintain it for 15 seconds? And then another 30-second recovery, and then 1 minute all out. Same thing, it's a little bit longer by 15 seconds. So can you use the same speed and just fight for dear life? Do you feel like you need to pull back a little bit and kind of go from there? My biggest takeaway on this is if this is on the 13th and people are trying to get that last 12 days of fitness workout in, they were here the day before, legs are going to be tore up from the squat jacks and the BOSU work. So they're definitely going to be run on empty when it comes to these all outs. So it's going to be more about how they feel rather than heart rate response, most likely. If someone's fresh and brand new, we should definitely see peaks and valleys for this. So when they work, heart rate shoots up. When they rest, heart rate drops down. Now, whatever they do for this 1 minute all out, we're gonna start with that and repeat what they just did, but now the walk recoveries are 1 minute. So in block 2, we're gonna see a total of 3 rounds, and each round is set up the same with that 30, 45, and 1 minute all out. Now the walk recoveries are a minute each. So true ups and downs, okay? Now the call out for this one is within round 1, we're gonna repeat those 1 minute all outs for 30, 45, and a minute. When we go to round 2, the goal here is at least repeat it, otherwise increase, okay? So add 0.1, 0.3 or more, and do that for 30, 45, a minute. Round 3, maintain or increase once again. So this is one where it's in the true overview, practice, perfect, perform within the block and then block to block. So it is, of course, very cumbersome as a coach to constantly say 3, 2, 1, walk it down, 3, 2, 1, all out. So definitely think about how you could bring to life the idea of power from the lower body, explosiveness, moving quickly, moving with intention, pumping those arms, getting uphill fast, whatever kind of analogy works for you to kind of connect with your members. And that's the treads. On the weight floor side, block 1 is going to start with some row-based stuff, and you'll actually be using dumbbells. Personal opinion, I would have them grab weights, bring it to the rower so the transitions are a little bit quicker. They're going to start with a 15 stroke row for distance. There's no call out on specific stroke rate ranges, but with this being strength focused, I would suggest get them to stay at least, 20 to 24 strokes per minute. Personally, 18 and 22. But we definitely don't want to see someone, pausing at the back and they're hanging out at 8 strokes a minute, because that's going to eat up a lot of time. It kind of defeats the purpose. So 15 strokes, we should see on the lowest end 150, but if people get about like 180 to 200 plus meters, even better. And the idea is every time they row, they match or beat their distance. That will be paired up with bicep curl, pause at the top, and then alternate and reverse lunge. So lunge, lunge, then they lower the weight. Curl up halfway, lunge, lunge, then lower the weight down. And they'll just keep repeating that. Option for this one, they could do a bicep curl, hold it there. They could do 2 squats, then the lower weight, curl back up as an alternative. Most likely they'll probably get 2, maybe 2.5 rounds, meaning they'll do the rower 3 times total. That's the first block. After that, they have 90 seconds, head to the weight floor. We're gonna have 2 different work and rest cluster sets. The cluster set itself is the close grip chest press and a bench bridge with the shoulders on the bench. Of course, they had close grip chest press on the Wednesday workout with the BOSU, but we're not on the BOSU. This is from the bench, so a lot more stable. The key thing for this one, they're doing 12 reps, light to moderate weight. They'll rest for about 10 seconds and then rep out as many as they can. If they are choosing a weight that's, at that point of fatigue by rep number 12, that 10-second rest will allow them to probably get another like 3 to 6-ish extra reps. If they could do their 12, rest, and then hit another 12, I hate to say it, but they need to go up in weight. Once they finish that one cluster set, they take a moment to catch the breath. Then they have the bench decline high plank alternate and toe tap, anywhere from 12 to 20 reps. The big call out for this movement, hands are on the floor, feet are up on the top of the bench. We want to make sure that the hips are not piked up. Try to drive the hips down. A great thing to do to kind of help members with that is to use the kneel pad and use that to kind of push on their hips and tell them lower the hips, or place the pad underneath their hips and say, hey, have your hips touch the mat so they are coming to the equipment. Don't actually touch them or anything like that. Consent. The second work and rest cluster set, like I said, bench bridge, shoulders are on the bench, do 12, 10-second rest, rep out as many as you can, and that's gonna be paired up with the bench seated torso rotation. So feet are planted on the floor, dumbbells here, every twist is 1, 12 to 20. They're gonna repeat that circuit all the way through, and then their finisher is their choice of either core exercise. So nice and simple, upper body push, lower body hinge workout today. So get a good little stimulus all over. Looking at the 3G, treads and rowers have 2 blocks, weight floor, 1 big block. Be aware that the total time for each section is 15 minutes. So your 3-minute transition is actually only 2.5 minutes. So get them to move quick. Looking at the treads, block 1 is the exact same thing from the 2G. So they have that 1-minute buy-in push base, and then 30, 45, 1-minute all outs. On the second block, it is the same thing as block 2, but we only have 2 rounds. That's it. So round 1, 30, 45, a minute, 30, 45, 1 minute, and then they're done. Of course, they have 1-minute walk recoveries in between. So they'll have 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, between the 2 blocks, they have a 75-second walk recovery back to base when they're ready. That's also your time to get the rowers set up for their second block. So as a coach, just be aware, you are pretty tight on transitions block to block. You're also tight on that transitions of rotating the room. Hustle and bustle. Okay, rower, block 1, just like the 2G, they start with a 15-stroke row for distance, strength focus, but now they're gonna do a squat to alternate and halo. So med ball starts here, they'll squat down, stand up, one direction, that's 1 rep, squat, and then the other direction, that's 2. The closer the med ball is to them, the more challenging that movement is. Move the med ball around them rather than move the head around the med ball. And they're just gonna repeat that for 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Block 2, now it's a 30-second all-out row, and then they're standing on one leg and doing 8 reps of an angled press. And for this one, they'll start with the med ball at their chest. They're pressing the med ball out at about a 45-degree angle while they balance on one leg. They're gonna do about 8 reps each, and then the row is going to go up by 15 seconds every round. They have 3 rounds, so 30, 45, 1 minute, and then they have that med ball exercise in between. Once they've done 3 rounds of that, they go back to the 30-second all-out row, but now it's paired with a single leg alternating halo, 8 on each side. So they plant one foot down, the other foot's up. They'll do the alternating halo, 4 per side, switch legs, do another 4 per side. 30, 45, 1 minute all out. The goal here is to hit your best all out every time, and then as much core activation as possible with the med ball exercise. They finish up with a 1 minute all out at the very end. Knowing that it's 30, 45, and a minute, the row itself is about 4 minutes of total time if they're going to get through everything. The med ball exercises, with it being 16 reps and also unbalanced, that's going to eat up a huge chunk of time as well. So most likely people will probably get through at least the 30-second row and the alternating halos in that repeat section. You might have a few finish the 45-second all out and maybe start the med ball exercise. So they'll do their 1 minute all out as like their last round essentially. So the likelihood of them finishing everything pretty low, not to say it's impossible, but there you go. All right, floor side. Exact same thing as the 2G, it's just 15 minutes instead of 16 minutes and 45 seconds. So close grip chest press as a cluster, paired up with the toe tap, 12 to 20 reps, bridge, cluster, and then seated torso rotation. Rinse and repeat. They'll probably get 4 rounds because you have 15 minutes here. Finisher, same thing, same choices of either torso rotation or the toe tap. There you go. February 13th, Wednesday, Christmas Day, if you happen to be open. That's it. Coach it down.